Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I've been wanting to make a video on freedom, the meaning of freedom. I've wanted to do it so bad for so long, but I haven't been able to come up with the right words. Now, somebody made a comment and they were talking about the cultures. And so this is going to kind of help me express a little bit about freedom. It's not really going to be about freedom. It's going to be when you come from a culture that doesn't have, well, it's hard to say that. And that's why I'm having a hard time. But their culture, they don't see it as freedom. And this is what I want to talk about. And the thing is, okay, if you know anything about me by now, you ought to know that I take my freedom very seriously. I don't have a price on my freedom. I mean, I will not sell my freedom for anything. If you really think about me and I've got plenty of videos talking about what I do, you will see I'm probably one of the most free people in this world. Okay, now if I take my freedom so seriously, you would think, what am I doing in Guatemala? A country that has no freedom. You would think that I would be in the United States, because the United States is supposed to be known for freedom. And that's the part that I want to try to talk about. Okay, let me think. My wife, she was Chinese, 100% Chinese, but she was born and raised here in Guatemala. I'm going to try to get out of the wind. So, and she was from the upper class. And people have freedom. Most people give up their freedom for something. They give up their freedom for housing. They give up their freedom for security. They give up their freedom for food. They give up their freedom for money. And I don't know. In my videos, I talk about all this stuff because I haven't given up my freedom for anything. And it's funny because my wife, when we got married at 22 years old, I brought her to the United States, and she thought she knew what freedom was. And she really did. She had freedom. But she couldn't understand why I did a lot of things the way I did it. And yes, one thing was I was in the Marines. And you know, they have a saying, once a Marine, always a Marine. Well, it is, your attitude changes. And I did some of the shitty stuff that the Marines do. And that's why I say I was serving Vietnam. That's mainly about all I did, just combat in the jungles of Vietnam. Not only I learned what it's like not to have your freedom, because the Marines took my freedom from me. I had to do what I was ordered to do. That's military life. By now you probably figured out I don't take instruction too well. So I wasn't real, I didn't make a good Marine, other than the combat stuff. But I didn't take orders well at all. And so my wife thought, well, that's what made me odd, was my Vietnam experience. And she couldn't understand why. Now, even at that time, the government wasn't, we didn't have all these regulations that they have now. Now they tell you to sit down, put the seatbelt on, and people listen to them. You know what I mean? I don't understand all that stuff. That's not freedom. That's why a lot of you people think that's freedom. And the same thing, a lot of the people down here go to the United States thinking that they're going to have freedom. And what happens? I come from the United States down here so I can have my freedom. Isn't that weird? And that's what I'm talking about. The culture. The culture is what it is. When people think they don't have freedom. Even down here, they don't think they have freedom. No, they have freedom. They've sold their freedom. The cultures, if you do this, you do that, then you get things easily. Freedom is not easy. That's the last thing freedom is easy. And that's why in the United States, I got away from it, because like I say, everything got so easy, I knew I had no control over my life. Because it's easy as long as you do this. You have to do this, and then you can keep your freedom. Freedom doesn't work that way. You do this so you can keep your freedom. No. It doesn't happen that way. And that's what's happened, is the people here go to the United States thinking that money is going to give them freedom. And even some of the viewers here on YouTube, when I talk about gold and silver, I think it's funny. I have some people tell me that, well, you worship gold and silver and stuff like that. Yeah. Everything went right over your head. If you haven't figured out by now, I don't spend hardly any money at all. My life is not based on money. And that's what people go here. They go to the United States thinking they're going to get freedom, because freedom has a dollar sign on it. Because they don't make the dollars here, they think they need to go to the United States to be free to get the dollars. Yeah, and I don't really understand how to get the point across to people. Even here, they say, well, you're just a rich American. That's why you can do like this. No. I use my freedom to create the situation that I'm in now. And I haven't given up my freedom to stay in this situation. In other words, I don't give up my freedom for Obamacare. And you go along with this crap. The seatbelt, all the regulations. Nobody wants to take personal responsibility. That's the first thing for freedom, is personal responsibility. If you can't take personal responsibility, there's no way in hell you're going to have freedom. And these people from here go to the United States with their hand out. They want free education. Free education is what we have in the United States. They have free education down here. It hasn't done them any good here. And look what happens in the United States. The free education doesn't help there either. It makes everybody stupid. take personal responsibility is the only way you're going to have freedom. That's why I can have freedom any place in the world I go. I take personal responsibility over all aspects of my life. My wife couldn't understand that. And why? She never had real freedom. She had somebody's concept that they gave to her, and she thought that's what freedom is all about. That's what's going on in the United States right now. There is no freedom in the United States. Our great culture have been watered down by so many people that refuse to take personal responsibility. They go to the or places like this. I made a video talking about Honduras. Well, then they can say, well, see, we're having such a hard time here. That's why we had to come to the United States, because we don't have our freedom in Honduras. No. Take personal responsibility. Then you can have freedom. It's not in the culture. It's not someplace you're going to go to get it. Freedom is right here, right now, right where I'm standing. You have to recognize it's your responsibility to make freedom work. This is Mike. NoStressMike.com.